So you just got hit with false accusations in a custody battle. Somebody that you trusted and maybe you're still in love with them is now saying that you've abused your kids or them and you want to do the right thing. You know, what's your next move? A lot of times men will want to reason with them just if they could talk some sense into their ex or soon to be ex that's making these claims. Maybe you want to reach out to their family. You had a close connection with their mom or their dad and they could help talk some sense into them. Or maybe with all of this, you just say F it and you want to disappear from it all. So all of those things are bad ideas. And in this video, I want to help you understand clearly what exactly is at stake and what you need to do immediately. So what we're exactly gonna cover are 5 essentials, the basics of what you need to learn if you're a dad that's going through a custody battle where you're being falsely accused of something. And also, this is a part of a 6-part series, where in that series we cover pretty much everything you need to know about false accusations so you can defend yourself, save your life, and save your family. False accusations are not just lies. They're strategic attacks designed to isolate you, cut off your relationship with your kids, destroy your reputation, and could potentially land you in jail. The family court system does not start by presuming that you're innocent. It's going to prioritize protection first, proof second, and knowing this reality early on is just crucial. And so here's why this matters right now. Any little misstep, losing your cool, mishandling a situation, not acting appropriately in a courtroom, not being prepared or understanding the magnitude of this situation, but they can ruin your reputation, your life, your relationship with your kids, and affect it permanently. And all too many times I've seen good fathers unknowingly sabotage their cases just because they mishandled and didn't understand the immediate consequences to false allegations. First thing first, step 1, you need to understand the game you are in. You must understand these rules immediately because ignorance can cost you everything. In layman's terms, if any false accusations have happened, even if she's just telling friends and family about it, which is a pretty big red flag here, but you're also conflicted with her being really nice and sweet to you and wanting to work things out, whether you work things out or not, you need to take these allegations seriously and understand them legally and start to take actions to protect yourself legally now. Step number 2 is you need to document everything. Record every single interaction, text messages, emails, social media exchanges. Keep meticulous records and timelines of it all. Now, this step is not optional. You need to be detailed. Documentation is your defense, but in addition to that, it's just going to structure your complete case for you. Whether you're going pro se, you're working with a lawyer, maybe with this you have to work with multiple lawyers. Your meticulous documentation of everything and timelining it is going to be huge in your case for the entire duration of your case. There's one precautionary note that I have for this is that if you are documenting things, you need to understand what the laws are. Meaning, if you start following somebody or stalking them, if you get information in some illegal way, like you got her phone and looked through her text messages, these are all things that could actually ruin your case and get other charges to go against you, and they're super common. There are more videos on this exact playlist talking about mentality and the different common things that men run into that basically turn their cases into a catastrophe. But if you are documenting evidence or finding evidence in different places, make sure you're doing it within the law, because it could not just get thrown out and not used, but it could also be used to file other charges against you. Step 3, get legal expert help. Educate yourself quickly. Family court, divorce, and/or custody is chaotic to begin with. False accusations are even more intense, and they're going to throw big curveballs in the whole legal system that you're probably unaware of. If you are being accused of abuse in any way, whether it's to her, to your kids, to somebody else, and there's any legal threat, which means they're talking about it to friends, family, and threatening to call the police, or maybe they already have called the police, you need to start understanding what the law is around this. So what I always recommend is get an attorney or start interviewing family law attorneys that have dealt with false accusations and they've gone to court defending them. Hopefully they've gotten them dismissed, or even false accusations that move into criminal cases that they get dismissed or acquitted. But false accusations are not just normal family law. If you have an attorney that is only experienced in family law, or you've only studied general family law or watched a couple family law cases that don't involve false accusations, you don't understand the process of it, you don't understand how the court may rule on something, you're basically walking into a snake pit, and there's so many little steps that you might miss in this that you're almost guaranteed to sabotage yourself, which also means sabotaging your relationship with your kids, your future, your reputation. Bottom line here is start interviewing family law attorneys who have experience with false allegations and allegations that are similar to the ones that you're being accused of. Oftentimes these consultations can be free, but they can also be paid for, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. The $200, the $300, however much it is, to pay for an expert to go over your situation and to advise you on it, it's going to be worth it. Now, I'd also recommend that you do hire an attorney for this because the laws get so complicated with false allegations that you could just be in over your head if you just go to court and expect it to be resolved. But if you do have to go in pro se, then I'm going to tell you this, you need a lot of help. You still need to interview attorneys. You need to start studying cases of false allegations and hopefully cases that have been dismissed or acquitted, and those are going to be really hard to find. You should get with other fathers or mothers who have beaten these because that's going to be some of your best points of reference. You also have to understand you can't just listen to one dad or mom who beat these things because their case is unique. It's better to listen to a couple of them. And in this, you're going to be able to understand a little bit more about your process, which is going to be unique, one, to the judge you're dealing with, the state and county's laws, and also your ex's mentality or her attorney's presence mentality. Step 4, emotional control is a non-negotiable. You gotta stay calm, collected, and intentional in every single interaction. Your ex's family, judges, attorneys, CPS officers, guardian ad litems will use any single little slip up as a form of evidence or proof against you, and you cannot afford this. You also could be in a situation when you're picking up the kids from school, or maybe you're still doing drop-offs, but these false allegations are happening. Once all this thing kicks off, the person who's accusing you of anything is gonna be documenting everything, just like I'm telling you to do. Let's say you wanna reason with them, have a calm conversation. Maybe they bait you into an argument where you look bad, or you just lose your cool, which is really common to do when this is on the line. Step 5, you need to become a legal expert in false allegations and defending them. Now, I brought this up before, but you need to start studying cases and getting around other fathers and mothers who have had false allegations and beat them, or at least have courtroom experience. I'm going to tell you this, from running a group of men for the last 17 years, being around other parents who've been through this, whether they've won or lost, is invaluable. Now, that may not make too much sense, but I'm just going to say, look, you do want to be around other men or women who have beaten false allegations, gotten them dismissed, gotten them acquitted, gotten them thrown out of court. Maybe they even got their kids back in custody. And the reason why you want that is because that will have the best information on what you need to do now. However, if there are fathers who have lost their case, some of them might be like me, like I lost my first case. At that point, I could tell any man in this situation what was going to happen in the courtroom and what mistakes were going to happen. That's way, way better and will save your life than somebody who has no idea and you're just guessing, walking into a completely screwed up system that will eat you alive. But also in my case, I came back to win in false allegations again, and then got my other case reversed or admitted to be a mistake by the courts. And if you're in groups that have that kind of access to men who have gone through the whole gamut of things, they're going to be the best to work with you through it. And they're going to understand your mentality. They're going to understand what's going on in different cases. Now, there's some other really important tools that you need to understand when you're researching the law. And you may or may not have access to them, but if you can get access to them, even if it's paid, it's going to be worth its weight in gold. These are going to be great because they're going to allow you to search different cases and find out what different judges have ruled upon, and maybe even your judge. These are LexisNexis, Westlaw, and or Fastcase. Now, you can also search public records, and there's different ones for federal court as well as for your local family law courts. If you look through your local county or state databases, you're going to be able to find different cases that went in front of different judges. Now, this could be a little bit like finding a needle in a haystack, but if you're already talking to attorneys, they may be able to reference you in the right direction. Now, there are a ton of different legal resources that you can find, but the best way to find this is going to be with grouping up with other men who have been through this. Which brings me to this last part. False allegations can be one of the most stressful, degrading, horrible things that anybody can go through, man or woman. You have to realize that you're not alone in this. This is the first video in a playlist, a series for YouTube, where we go over what you need to do in false allegations and every single thing that I could think of that I've worked with guys on. I'd heavily encourage you to subscribe, be a part of our community that is committed to helping you successfully navigate against false allegations and really anything a man goes through in a custody battle. So if that's you and this is something that you'd want to work with us on, I got 3 vital suggestions for you to do right now. The first one is watch this entire playlist, study it, bring out a notepad, pen and paper, get ready to search things on Google and use AI, things like ChatGPT or DeepSeek. There are so many different things that are going to be outlined on this channel as well as in this playlist that are just going to help you out so much. Next, if you want some really targeted help, follow the link in my show notes to get into my free high conflict custody portal. It's free, you put in your email address, you can opt out whatever time you want, and you get access to a really focused and targeted portal that has PDFs, different things to work through, videos, taking you through literally everything that you can think of in high conflict custody, and it's just gonna speak directly to you. Now, the third option is if you need some extra help and you're really in this and you want somebody to help guide you through it all, you should also look at the link to my paid community. Now in this, I'm gonna work with you directly 5 to 6 days a week. We work in a group setting. We also have legal assistants come on and work with you. You're gonna work with therapists who are experts in dealing with male trauma, reunification of children, and it's a community that has been designed to work with guys in your exact situation. We have tons and tons of success stories. If you go to the link associated with that group, you're gonna find testimonials from guys who have won their cases, guys who have done the impossible and had permanent protective orders ruled against them and actually got the courts to reverse them. All the guys' testimonials that you see on that page are from guys who have worked with me for over 1 year, and some of them for over a decade. But I will not take a testimonial from a guy who just works with me a couple months, wins his case, and it's good to go. In any case, guys, this is really, really hard, and watch the next video in this playlist. Nothing about defending yourself in false allegations is simple, easy, or something quick that I could tell you to do. If I knew it, I would. So let's put our thinking caps on and get to the next video on this playlist. All right, let's get to work.